We'll see you.
Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Amon Green, Green Bay Packers all-time leading rusher, and you're watching Packers Total Access Live, your daily source for Packer content. Go Pack, go!
What's up, guys? Welcome into Packers Total Access. My name is Clayton. You can check us out on packernet.com. Find me on Twitter at Packers_access. Join alongside Tim in Green Bay. We've got Jacob in Wisconsin here to talk Packers. And we've got the Carolina Panthers coming to town for the throwback game. Really, really excited about that. Want to give a shout out to everybody who supported the NFC Roundtable tonight. Thank y'all for hopping in there. That was a blast talking ball with the division rival podcasters. Those guys are just a great bunch of human beings over there. So it was a lot of fun. What we're going to get into tonight, injury report, right? We got our first injury report for the Packers-Panthers game. Excited about jumping into that. For the first time, I think, all year long, our injury report is actually smaller than the opposing teams. That's exciting stuff, right? We're also going to talk a little Tucker Kraft. I think he is grossly underestimated across the league, especially with the fan bases. We'll talk about why we feel that way. And then we're also going to dive into Packers-Panthers PFF preview. We'll talk about the betting line. We'll talk about who has the edge in every statistical category, essentially. So that's what's on tap tonight. Before we get into it, if you guys would, do that YouTube stuff for me. Hit like, hit subscribe. If this is your first time tuning into PTA, welcome. Thank you for making us a part of your evening. We're not experts. We're not insiders. We're not media members. We're fans just like you, talking Packers on the daily. So if you're looking for that type of content, make sure you click subscribe, click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live like this in the future. Boys, how we doing tonight? How's everybody doing this evening?
Ready to go, man. Good work on the roundtable, Clay.
Yeah, I was going to say we got a couple comments in here talking about how you did a great job. I absolutely really enjoyed those guys. Me and Tim were talking offline. It's rare that you find NFC North rivals that you can actually stand and have a conversation with, let alone kind of, shoot the poo, and just kind of have a good old-fashioned smack talk, but also talking some statistics and ball and real stuff. And it was just really, really fun to watch, man. Good job.
Yeah, they're a great group of guys, man, definitely. And again, thanks for everybody who jumped in there and supported tonight as well. All right.
How many times are you going to come to my press conference late?
How about me being late for my own show, right? That's the last thing I told them. We were in there cutting up. I said, guys, I got to go. If they hit go live and they get my show canceled, I'm going to be mad. I'm out. So here we are. Let's jump into it, boys. We got the Panthers coming to town. Tim, are you going to this game, sir?
No, I'll be at Monday Night Football against the Eagles, though.
I remember you saying you were going to go to one, so I couldn't remember. So, yeah, I would definitely choose the Eagles.
Might be up there for some of the pregame festivities, though, this weekend. You never know. We're going to party like it's 1923 all weekend long for sure. So I'll go up there and say hello to Buckets Goldenberg for everyone.
Just try to avoid Brown County's finest up there. You know what I'm saying? You got to be careful. Don't be getting on the sauce too much. You know what I mean? So, all right, let's get into it, man. Packers injury report. Let's start with the limiteds, okay? Limited: Aaron Banks, Josh Jacobs, Brandon McManus, Zach Tom, Christian Watson, and Devontae Wyatt. Of all those, to me, the one that seems like they would be most likely to be downgraded or possibly not play would probably be Brandon McManus after that performance, right? Unless you guys think maybe you just let him kick through those problems. That could be the case too. I don't know, man. The way I see it, if he's not 100%, get Haversick back out there. And it's not like something where Brandon McManus has got to worry about his contract, right? He just got the extension, so he's good there. There's no reason to rush it back. We want to make sure, Tim, that he is 100% healthy for the playoffs, man. That's the main thing we need to focus on there.
Exactly. I'm not putting too much, stress or emphasis on him missing, what was that, a 57-yarder or something like that he 57. Missed? Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much at the edge of his range at this point anyway. So I don't think that necessarily had anything to do with the injury, but, missing a 44-yarder, clearly the right quad is not exactly 100%. And I agree with the sentiment that you just hold him out until you really feel like he's good to go, because we need him down the stretch for sure. And we've got to, have a kick is having some kicks. He's 100% since he got here. So, play the hot hand or, the hot leg in this situation and hold out your veteran until you absolutely know he's 100%. I agree.
Mm-hmm. Jake, anything you would add?
I mean, I completely agree with that. You can tell that McManus is the type of guy that doesn't want to sit out. And I think that could be to his detriment, where he feels like, I got to get back out there. And to you guys' point, let's not do that. We got a guy that's absolute aces. He's just kicking that thing right over a mountain. McManus, let him heal up. Like you said, that quad, obviously something wasn't right, because the way that his whole setup, his whole motion just didn't look like Brandon McManus of old that we've seen. And it's no shocker that all of a sudden it happens, obviously, after he has the injury. The whole setup just didn't look comfortable. And like to your point, Clayton, it's not like he's fighting for a roster spot necessarily. I mean, we paid that man, he's the money. So let's just let him get better. Let's make sure he's good to go for the stretch.
Yeah, completely agree, man. In terms of the did not participates, you've got Nick Nyman, linebacker, right? You've got Lucas Van Ness with the foot injury, and you got Dontavion Wicks with the calf injury. So I think Dontavion Wicks, you probably sit him another week. Let's play that safe. You never know, guys, if you rush Tay Wicks back, right? If you rush him back and then, God forbid, another receiver go down and now you're down both of those guys, you can kind of put yourself in a little bit of a tough spot there, a little bit of a pickle. So I say sit him down as well. So really, man, when you're looking at it, Devontae Wyatt should play. He played a significant amount of snaps, which I wasn't expecting in that game there against Pittsburgh. That's a great sign.
Yep.
I think you're in really, really good shape, man. And now the one that does kind of catch us off guard, and I don't have all the information, but Matt Schneidman tweeted out, Matt LaFleur says Marshawn Lloyd isn't returning anytime soon. So did we get any kind of great detail on what's going on there, or is that the only thing we heard today was just Matt LaFleur saying?
I don't know. I'm not a doctor.
I mean, that's what Nick Maswain's asking. He goes, what happened to Marshawn Lloyd? LaFleur made it sound like he's still a long ways away. I did see somebody too in the chat saying basically like really bad news about Lloyd. So if you do have some clarification in there, okay. So Jen said no more details there. Yeah. So that is, it's just weird. His whole career trajectory has just been kind of weird.
It's the same. We knew this when we drafted him, though. I hate to keep going back there, but like he had issues with the hip and in the hamstring and stuff at USC. We knew this. I don't think anyone anticipated that we'd be into his second year and not seeing more than, what does he have, 10 or 11 snaps since we drafted him. So it's just an unfortunate situation at running back right there. That's not a knock on Marshawn Lloyd, but like it's just unfortunate that he's not available, right? Can't make the club in the tub.
Yeah.
Man. Do you mind if we get rid of this? It's not get rid of, but do you mind if we highlight this super chat from King Trong before it gets too lost in the shuffle here? King Trong, also known as AKA King Likes Scary Stories now, says 87 is living his best life this year, and I love it. Absolutely could not agree more. I think that just what's even, do you guys see that clip of how everybody, when there was a fight breaking out?
Oh, it was so good.
Dobby's on the sidelines twerking.
Yeah.
It's like,
I'm gonna see if I can find it. It's gonna be worth it.
His mental health definitely seems like he's in a way better place for whatever reason. I think that he understands his role on this team. And I don't know about you guys, but the idea of us trading him, I don't want to hear that no more. I feel like he's one of the heart and soul of this offense. What are your thoughts, Tim?
Don't put that name in my mouth right there.
That's right. Don't even talk about trading my boy Romy Rome. I don't want to hear it anymore. Certainly a valid piece of the offense. You can say what you want. You can call him a possession receiver all you want. You can say that he's not blazing fast, field stretching guy. I do know that other than maybe Tucker Kraft, I mean, on third down, you're going to Rome and we're getting a conversion. He's probably one of the more sure-handed receivers we have. And we've got a lot of guys that have really stepped up their game as far as catching the ball. But Rome is, if he's proven anything these past couple of years, it's reliability and availability. Other than the few concussion scares and stuff, like we haven't really seen Rome miss a lot of time. So he's available and he's effective when he's on the field. And, we got Scoot back in the fold now. We've got a young Matthew Golden who's going to break out at any minute. And then we got the Birdman, Jay Reed coming back before you know it. There's a lot to be excited about, kind of to Clayton's point, don't rush Tay Wicks back. and have him have a setback or anything like that. So I'm fired up about Rome. I do feel like he is a leader in that receiver room and on this team for sure.
Yeah, and shout out to over on Twitter at TCU_Cash. He's the one who had the video here. We'll make sure it's muted in case there's something bad. So you see the fight, people throwing punches out on the field. Camera pans up, look at Dobby up there by himself, just getting a little twerk on. You know what I mean? Just I love the fact that everybody else is in the middle of a fight and Dobby's just dancing. You gotta love it, man. So I agree. I think he's in a great place. I just said it on the roundtable too, like. There's been rumors around Dobbs getting traded this year. Please don't let that happen, man. I think he's great for the locker room. I think, and isn't it funny? Last year, I think it was last year, maybe it was the year before when he did get suspended. That was the worry: is he a bad locker room guy? Right? Unbelievable how things change, man. So,
Chuck, Jacob out here stealing Dobbs' moves. He stole it from me, man. He came to the Oval Office and saw what I can do. I'm telling you.
Right. Only thing that's missing is a pole there. So.
Well, Clayton, would you mind responding to Fishy Thinks? He goes, "What is this round table thing? I feel like I'm missing out on something."
Yeah, so it's a cult that we started. It's called the NFC North Roundtable, and Basarsky, you guys know Baz over at Basarsky Productions. He typically represents the Packers, and he was going to be missing some time. He missed some time last year, and then he said he's going to be missing some time with the wedding coming up. Congrats to Baz, obviously getting hitched. So he asked if I could fill in for him. So it's an honor that he asked me, and happy to do it. Like I said, those guys they're a great group of guys over there. So if you guys want to kind of learn a little bit more about the NFC North, every Wednesday they go live on YouTube, and basically they go around the horn and give you a review of their most recent game, and then they preview the next game and any other topics that are geared around the North. It's really, sometimes you tune into shows and it's like, man, this is really drawn out. This is filibuster. You don't get none of that with it. It's just bang, bang, bang to the point. It's a great way to keep up with the NFC North. I thought about doing an NFC North show on this channel and just geared around one episode a week. Here's what's going on with the North, the latest news around each team. I just didn't know if that would run some viewers off, because I know some people can't stomach those rivals, and I get that. Totally understand. So, yeah, it's a good show. Clint said he watches as well. So,
you know what I liked about it the best? Sorry, just real quick, is that it really does highlight the fact that some Packer fans are in such a bubble, thinking about how this team is so bad, and then it's nice to hear guys like I think it's One Bar, who is the Viking fan, who he's not known. Yeah, he doesn't sugarcoat it whatsoever. Same with the Chicago Bears guy. They're just basically, they'll tell it as it is. And not to say that those guys are saying, the sky is falling or anything like that, but, they're very critical of their own team. And it's nice to be able to see other fan bases go through what I feel like the Packers only did in a bubble. It's like we just sit here and we're so negative with each other and with our own team. And it was nice to see that there's other fan bases that are pretty critical of their own team as well.
Yeah, I think that's very well said, man. Very well said. All right, and again, Tron, thank you for that super chat, buddy. Appreciate you. Let's look at the Carolina Panthers side. Let's start with the did not participate. What players might not be playing this week? You got Brady Christensen, offensive lineman. Andy Dalton, quarterback with the right thumb, did not participate. There's rumors. I've heard rumors, but the guys on the roundtable, it seemed like they seem to think Andy Dalton would be the quarterback this week. Maybe they didn't dig too deep into it, but you guys let me know in the chat if you've heard anything geared around whether or not who is it? Bryce Young, am I thinking right? That's their normal starting quarterback. Whether or not he will be playing this week, because that would be huge. You talk about a team catching a spark at one of their low points if Bryce Young were to play, and I think currently we're sitting as 13-point favorites, so that would probably swing a touch, I would imagine. But the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, battling a right thumb injury there, did not participate. You also had Cade Mays, center, with the ankle/knee, did not participate. Taylor Moulton, tackle, did not participate. Nick Scott, safety. Princely Umana-Melon, outside linebacker with the ankle, did not participate. Traven Wallace, linebacker, did not participate as well. I think I heard somewhere that they could be down 3 starting offensive linemen. And you're talking about a team that's already, they 25th, I think, in turnover differential on the year. Yeah. Their run defense is absolute trash, so look for LaFleur to get the running game going this week. And if they do try to stop the run, they have to allocate extra resources to stopping the run. Don't be surprised if things really open up for Jordan, because their run or the pass defense, I want to say, is somewhere around the 16 or 17 mark, depending on which metric you look at. So I think what I've seen too, at least on the Sleeper app, on the NFC North Roundtable is Josh Jacobs is set at like 65.5 or 63.5 yards. If he's healthy, you got to be careful with that because the calf injury, and we know he, didn't have quite the results we expected last week. Although I think it was they were loading the box with him in the game, and then Emmanuel Wilson come up and they would lighten the box. But
I also think with Josh too, it's probably load management. Also, we're getting to that nitty gritty halfway point of the season here, and you want to keep your running back one healthy as much as possible, especially when he's dealing with a calf injury. So, it could be scheme, but it could also be load management for Josh.
What's crazy too is even though he's a little bit in a quote unquote drought, maybe he's still putting up tutters left and right. Like the guy's just a scoring machine
and impacting the ball game, right? Making our team better for sure.
Definitely. So that's pretty much you see Bryce Young is the with the ankles, full participation. So I imagine he is going to play this week. Let's go to the chat, see what everybody's saying here. Biz 1987 says there's a ton of content creators for the Packers. I like many, but learn the most on this show, even though it sucks. Thank you so much, Biz, for the kind words. We appreciate you, buddy. And then Fishy Thing says, I watch a lot of other Packer YouTube shows as well. Not kissing arse, but this one is legitimately my favorite. I was watching just the tape breakdown shows until I realized they went live. So thank you so much, man. Appreciate you, Fishy. You're the man, buddy. And again, it's just all about learning from each other in here, man. That's what this show is all about. That's why it's Packer Fan Total Access. And the Total Access name is exactly what it sounds like. We wanted to try to approach each and every game week the way the team, the coaching staff, the front office does, right? And what that means is, look, we get in here, we review the tape, right? And then we dive into the injury report. The coaches, that's what they're focused on right now. All right, who needs to get reps this week? Who doesn't? Who might miss the game? So we got to get certain backups at certain positions ready, right? And then we dive right into the game plan, the matchups, all that stuff. And then, of course, you got the pregame shows, the postgame shows. So just trying to bring it on a daily like that. And the best way to support the show, obviously, is to do so at patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. All right, let's shift gears here, boys. Let's talk a little Tucker Kraft, man. I still don't think he's getting enough respect. Now, obviously, Jordan Love, if you guys watched the early afternoon show we did, Jordan Love, he won an NFC Offensive Player of the Week. Listen, Tucker Kraft could have gotten that award too. If Jordan had if Jordan hadn't cracked the 350 mark, I think Tucker Kraft might have been a little more of the representative than Jordan Love because he went absolutely off in that game in Pittsburgh. When the game's on the line, think player, not play. And you're seeing that with Tucker Kraft. Essentially what you're seeing is Jordan Love looking to go to Tucker Kraft when he needs a play. And I think that's absolutely huge. Now let's talk about where he ranks in terms of the rest of the league at the tight end position. In yardage, Tyler Warren is currently leading the way at 492 yards and 3 touchdowns. Tucker Kraft is currently third at 469 receiving yards behind Travis Kelce and Tyler Warren. So you see Tucker is still showing he's only played in 7 games, okay, and the other 2 guys have played in 8. So I'm assuming that will shake out after this week. I think this week is the final bye week, right, guys? Am I thinking right?
Yeah, I believe so.
I think that's correct. Yeah.
And then we have trade deadline next, right?
That's correct. Yeah, next week's the trade deadline. So I think maybe you guys let us know in the chat. Correct us there and let us know when the bye week or when the final bye week is for the remaining bye week teams. Because
sorry about that. Are you surprised? Because we've talked about how the tight end position is kind of a tough skill set to come in and be able to master as a rookie, whether, because you have to have so much, you basically got to know every single play in the playbook. You got to know what the offensive line is doing. Does it surprise you that Tyler Warren is a rookie, number one? You got Oronde Gadsden, who I absolutely loved in this draft. You got Harold Fanning Jr. You got 3 legit rookies in the top 10 in major metrics. Does that surprise you?
Without watching their tape and understanding their exact schematics, I can't say one way or the other. I mean, on the surface, yeah, it looks kind of surprising. But if it's something that they just got these guys flexed out and, hey, go run a route, and you're seeing these are heavy receiving numbers. So when we talk about that curve for a young tight end coming into the league and trying to learn to be able to be implemented in the offense immediately, typically that stems from, and Matt LaFleur always said it best, he would always say that, a tight end has to learn what the receivers do, right? They have to learn the choice routes in that aspect, but they've also got to learn what the offensive line does. They also work with the offensive line coach from time to time. I'm sure Tim has seen that from time to time in training camp, things like that. So in that regard, if you're a true Y, a true attached Y that can flex out, there's probably a little more of a learning curve. But if these guys are being utilized, and I don't know, they may not. They may be used as true Ys. But if they're used in just, hey, yeah, we're going to attach them and they're going to kind of learn as they go, but also go out there and give me a post route. Go out there and give me a dig, that type of thing. There's a little less of a learning curve. But yeah, on the surface, I think it is pretty impressive that you got all these young guys kind of stepping right in and having success for sure. So, we got breaking news.
United Bates reports Week 12 is the official last week of buys in the National Football League. Thank you.
The reason I asked that question, Tim, is because these numbers are a little skewed, right? You got some teams playing more games than others, so just take that with a grain of salt. And we're going to mention that the only 2 tight ends that have more receiving yards than Tucker have played one more game, so that's worth mentioning.
And I believe there's only one tight end with more touchdowns than Tucker. Correct?
Yeah, let's see. Let's check it out here real quick. So Dallas Goedert of the Philadelphia Eagles has 7 touchdowns. And then after him, there are 2 other tight ends, Jake Ferguson and Tucker Kraft, that are tied at 6. So Tucker is officially tied for second in the league in terms of touchdown catches. So you've got number 3 in yards, number 2 in tutters, right? Let's go to yards per reception. This is where it gets fun, boys. Look who's leading the way. 15.6 yards per reception. Wow. Tucker Kraft leads the NFL in that statistical category. Behind him is Dalton Kincaid at 14.8, then Rondé Gatson at 14.3, Ty Warren at 13.3, Travis Kelce at 12.8. So again, Tucker Kraft in that metric first in the NFL in terms of yards after catch. And Tim, this is the big thing, Jacob, as well. I want to get your all's take on it. That's what Tucker does well, right? Yeah. Matt LaFleur does a great job of scheming him open, although we've seen him make those tight window throw catches. We've seen that time and time again. He's got the ability to use the body to shield the defender. He's got great hands. We talked about how he didn't have a single drop there. I think it was his rookie. Was his rookie year he didn't have a drop, if I remember correctly? It was either his rookie or his second year he didn't have a drop the entire season. So he can do that, but you got Matt LaFleur scheming him open, and it's just like Tim, with Matt LaFleur and his offense and scheming Tucker open with just a head full of speed there, just getting the steam roll. You got the glow plugs warming up, baby. All right, run somebody's ass over now. That's what Tucker does best.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen it time and time again. Look at him right here. We remember the Cincinnati game.
That looks like a train wreck, does it not?
Folding people over. It almost doesn't even look real, but it is. And I think to your point, Clayton, it is. You've got to tip your cap to Tupac LaFleur for for all the tight window throws we've seen. We know Tucker's got great hands, but man, when this dude gets the ball in space, there's no telling. You could have a 5-yard gain that goes 85 yards for a touchdown. The way Tuck runs with the football, really, aggressively, reckless abandon, just tucks that ball and he's like a steam engine going forward. We've seen him dragging DBs right along with him, shoving linebackers out of the way. He is a monster when it comes to the yak. And I think, creating those windows where you can get that ball and he's able to turn upfield, keep the wheels turning, catching it in stride in space. That's a recipe for, a guy that's probably going to lead the league in yak when it's all said and done at the end of the year. So big shout out to Matt LaFleur for scheming him up.
Yeah, I love what our RE Iron Miner says. Tuck around and find out. I believe that the NFL is now starting to put some respect on his name because to six-ish, I don't know. He said 2023, we all knew Kraft was him. The rest of the NFL is just finding out. I mean, me and Tim have been talking about it. I was absolutely jacked when we ended up getting him. Didn't think that we would have that weird double tight end draft like we did. The fact that like people say, he's just like, to Tim's point, it's been a long time since the Green Bay Packers had a tight end that was an absolute game changer. And to Tim's point again, you could dump a 5-yard out, and I have full capability, belief that he has the ability to take that thing to the end zone. And it seems like it's almost effortless where he looks for contact still while he's doing this. Like, he's running through people, but he's like, he doesn't shy away from contact.
And then you got Boot and Malik Heath blocking downfield for him. Forget about it.
Yeah. And he just, like, to your point, man, he just seems like he enjoys playing the tight end position more than a lot of people I've ever seen. He just really loves it.
Yep. Yeah. Now, in terms of receiving EPA, Tucker Kraft leads the league in that metric as well, plus 34.3. The closest one to him, Tyler Warren at 25. .0. So
Chuck Norris, you absolute beast of a man.
He's a grown-ass man now. And
that's correct, Coach. And then this is the most exciting one to me. Yak over expected, okay? So yards after catch over expected, plus 110. The closest one, Arondé Gatson at a plus 54. He is officially doubled him, right? So he has doubled the closest tied into Yak over expected. Tucker has doubled the numbers. I mean, he's dominant. He's been absolutely dominant. And then on top of that, you think, okay, he's a great player. Great players sometimes are head cases, right? They come with a little bit of baggage. You got to deal with the ego, not Tucker. My man out there ice fishing with a bush latte and a lung dart, right? Just hanging out with the boys. And then he's got the C on his chest. He's already become a captain. We talked about locker clean out last year. As the team was leaving, he was like, man, we need more leadership in this locker room. I'm going to step up and I'm going to be a leader next year is essentially what he was saying. He said that and I went, be careful, Tucker. You're still young. You got to back it up with the work ethic and you got to walk the walk. You can't just talk the talk. Boy, is he walking the walk. Yeah. My man came out on fire this year.
For sure. Between him and Josh Jacobs, man, those two set the tone going into this season from the very beginning on the offensive side of the ball. And then, of course, Jay Money coming into his own as a leader too. You guys love that. I love that little, I shouldn't call it little, but I don't know if anyone else picked up on it, but did you see the, that killer look, that stare of death that Jordan had in his eyes on Sunday night all day long? Like looking like a straight up assassin out there on the football field, all business. We had that moment with Matt. You talked about it earlier today, Matt giving him the pat on the chest before the game. Yeah. Trust yourself or believe in yourself because we do. And, you see Matt really like giving him the keys and letting him not only drive, but decide what gear he wants to be in and, where he wants to point the car. And Jordan's got full command right now. You got to love it.
Yeah, definitely.
What's crazy too is just, the little things that Tuck does, in addition to, like you just said, like the Jordan now starting to look like he's really coming into his own. Do you guys remember when he did that crazy little ninja hop up? He's not supposed to be able to do that at like 6'6", 250, whatever he is pounds. Like that dude is nimble, bro. He's an athlete.
Yeah, no, he's a dog, man, for sure. And this is what's crazy, right? So we just talked about all the important statistical categories, Tucker's top 3 and everything, right? PFF has him graded as the 10th highest graded tight end in the league, essentially. That's overall offensive grade, okay? That's 10th highest. When you sort it by receiving grade, he is 3rd in the league. So what's that tell you? It's probably his blocking that's bringing him down. For whatever reason, they don't have the run blocking up here right now. However, they do got his drop graded of 49.8.
What
the hell is that? How do you come up with that number? How many drops?
They got hold to the wrong stuff.
I can't. And now he had a drop the other night, right? We seen that. That was a drop on 3rd down, I believe it was, right? That's the only drop I could think of this year. Can you guys think of another drop in the first 7 games?
Drop I can think of in years for the dude, honestly. Crazy.
So that's bringing the grade down. Obviously, we can't see the run block grade, which seems like every week, Tim, they grade him bad on run blocking. We watch the tape and we go, we just seen him help run a duo block, sealed off the gap that Josh Jacobs ran or Emmanuel Wilson ran into on that toss, and then he gets to the next level and seals off the backer. So it's like, again, Papa Scoot, he did our talking for us, right? When he roasted PFF for their blocking grades.
Yeah, because the tape doesn't support, what they're grading these guys out. And let's be honest, it's not just Tucker Kraft, it's not just the Packers. This is everyone in the league. I don't think anyone's immune. And I don't think we're ever going to know exactly what their formula is or, how they're grading these players. But, shout out to Papa Scoot, man, because, he did what we like to do, right? Go back and watch those plays. You talk about NFL Pro, you can look it up, you can watch that snap, and you can watch it from multiple angles and really see what's happening on the field. And then you try to hold that up to the PFF grades. Sometimes they don't make sense, and sometimes they do, right? Sometimes we see guys right on the money with the grades. So, it's like we always say, it's not gospel. It's just another factor that we like to use when we're analyzing, these players in the game for sure.
Yeah,
we try to cover all the bases, man. We try to cover it with the PFF data. We hit it with the NFL Pro GPS tracking data. We got all the stats, the analytics. Then we take that last game and watch the tape, right? So go ahead, Jake. What are you going to say, man?
Nothing. Just fishy things with a funny comment. Sometimes PFF stands for pretend football facts. And then Jen Wright in the chat saying kip up is actually a gymnastics move. I didn't know that that's what it's called. I thought it was just that. You guys remember the movie
what I thought.
Three Ninjas? That's where I learned how to fight.
Okay. All right, there you go.
I could have swore you learned how to fight from Nacho Libre.
Hey.
Look at that guy right there.
That's true.
Save me a piece of that corn. Save me a piece of that corn for later. All right, so that's going to do it for Tucker Craft. Listen, guys, if you're watching this video back later, let us know in the comments. What do you think about Tucker Craft? Where would you rank him? Would you rank him top 3, top 5, top 10? Or are we just blowing smoke here? Is he not arrived yet? Where would you put him across the tight end ranks in the National Football League? We want to hear from you in the comments. Also, hit subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. All right.
Spoiler alert, I put Tucker at number 1. Number 1, best tight end of all tight ends in the entire league, number 1.
Absolutely. All right. Let's jump into it, guys. The matchup this week is the Carolina Panthers. This is how we like to kick off the week against the upcoming opponent. Let's start with the PFF preview. There's some really, really good analytics in here. This, what I love is, yes, there's some grades involved here. You'll see the Bryce Young versus Jordan Love, kind of who grades out better. But most of this is just analytics driven. So I like to get their analytics as well as NFL Pro across the board. So overall ranking, right? They've got the Packers ranked second overall. The Panthers are 24th. When you go to the defensive side of the ball, the Packers are ranked 11th. The Panthers are ranked 24th. When you go to the offensive side of the ball, the Packers offense, fire Matt LaFleur, right? Third best offense in the league right now. And then you've got the Panthers sitting at 26. In terms of strength of schedule played, they're very similar. The Packers have played the 24th toughest schedule, and the Panthers have played the 27th. So both of them have had somewhat of an easy road so far. It's funny, we were talking about going into the first quarter of the season was just going to be this rough stretch for the Packers. Then you look up in the strength of schedule, what happened? I thought we were supposed to start 0-2, right? You remember that talk, guys? Because, the front side of the schedule. So this is why I don't put a whole lot of stock in strength of schedule, because all it takes, that's off-season talk is all it is. You get a quarter of the way through the season and nothing is the same all of a sudden because the parity across the league, right? So in terms of average offensive snaps, the Packers are sitting at 65. The Panthers are at 69%.
65%.
65%. That's what the Packers are passing the ball 57% of the time. The Panthers are passing the ball 59% of the time as it sits right now. EPA per run, they are better than the Packers at a 0.01. The Packers are currently at a minus 0.05. However, EPA per pass, Matt LaFleur and Jordan Love carving up the league at a positive 0.29. I think Jordan Love is second right now in the league in EPA per drop back, only behind Daniel Jones, and it's literally 100th of a point or however that breaks down. And then the Panthers are minus 0.09 in EPA per pass. But you got to keep in mind, some of that's been with Andy Dalton. You're going to have Bryce Young this week is what it's looking like. And when you look at the PFF preview for the quarterbacks, you've got Jordan Love at an 81.5 now, Bryce Young at a 67.3. Passer rating when clean, when Jordan Love has a clean pocket, 135.8. And Bryce Young, 84.4. We know Bryce Young is a mobile, very good athlete in terms of a quarterback. His passer rating under pressure is at 84.6. Jordan Love's is a 46.5. So they got a slight edge there. And again, he hasn't played near as many games as Jordan Love this year. I'm assuming that's the case. Big time throw percentage, however, Jordan Love, 4.71%. Big time throw percentage for Bryce Young is at 3.72. Turnover worthy plays, Jordan's at 2.75. And Bryce Young is at 2.97. Power rating, Jordan Love 4.5 and Bryce Young 1.5. That ranks Jordan 7th. And, of course, Bryce Young in the 24 spot. Any of those metrics you guys want to hit on, I want to get your all's take. This feels like a game the Packers should win. We'll talk about the point spread here in just a second. Again, though, any given Sunday, man, I think the matchup here is you need to establish the run early because their run defense is cheeks.
Yep. Absolutely. And give Josh Jacobs the opportunity to get those wheels turning again. Let's get him over 100 and maybe a touchdown or two. Utilize him in the pass game, of course, but I'd like to see Josh have a big day on the ground for us, get that run game going. And just looking at the quarterback comparison too, you talk about Bryce Young being a mobile quarterback. It really explains why, he's nearly the same passer, whether he's clean or under pressure, because he's a guy that's going to step up, step out, roll, tuck it and run. Those are things that you have to concern yourself with. Granted, this is his first game back in a while. Granted, he's playing behind that offensive line, and he's going to have to deal with our pass rush, and he's going to have to deal with those joker looks that we basically made Aaron Rodgers' day a living hell on Sunday night in the second half with that. So you got a young quarterback, no pun intended, Mr. Young back there.
I see what you did there.
Against some grown ass man up front. You're right. We should take care of business, but you can't overlook any opponent. Nobody is a reflection of their record. Once we snap the ball and start playing, any given Sunday, it's the old cliche, but it's so true. So I think you have to account for Bryce Young, because we've seen quarterbacks from subpar teams come into Lambeau on a Sunday and light us up on the ground. And it's not a pretty sight. And quarterbacks, in my opinion, that, are as good, if not even worse than a Bryce Young, that have done it to us before. So you have to take that into consideration on Sunday when you're scheming up your defense. But I think the best answer is a good offense, like you said, Clay. Establish that run, move the sticks all day, and keep your opponent's offense off the field. That's how you win ball games.
Yeah, I agree with that completely. And to Tim's point, I want to make Bryce Young have to play a good quarterback, play like a good quarterback, because with Chuba Hubbard, I believe, and I think it's Rico Dowdle is their other running back. They've been doing pretty darn decent for as kind of, if you want to say that the Panthers as an organization as a whole has been kind of struggling. In addition to what Tim just said, Bryce Young, I think, is ascending still. Was he a number 1 overall drafted quarterback?
I believe he was, out of Alabama. And I'm telling you, he was my favorite quarterback that year. The problem with Bryce Young, Jacob, is they have just had this.
They thrown him to the wall. They have the worst management of their roster. I think. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but
no, that's it, man.
They went out and what would they remember? They went and signed a bunch of wide receivers without trying to shore up the offensive line. They kind of neglected the defense. They decided
they traded away their edge defender, and I know that doesn't have anything to do with Bryce Young. But listen, when you got somebody when the opposing quarterback sit back there all day and throw the football, and they jump out to an early lead, guess what? Now it's just statistically proven that if a quarterback and his offense are constantly week in and week out playing from behind, you're going to make more mistakes. That's just the way it is. So and you were right on the running game. If there's one thing that Carolina does well, it's run the football. They're 10th in yards per carry at 4.6. So.
Gotcha. Yeah, I mean, I just look for us to absolutely come with a full head of steam, being at home, coming off an absolutely really pivotal win that I think is going to put a lot of confidence behind not just the team, but you can't tell me that Jordan Love doesn't have a little ego boost from beating his predecessor, his mentor. All the talk that we tried to tamp down, which that's what we got to do is honestly as Packer fans in that situation. But I'll be honest with you guys, it was a big game. It was a massive game for him. And, Jordan's the type of guy that probably will never admit fully how much that meant to him because he's just a leader like that. He's a humble guy. He's a respectable guy, and he would never want to, in any way try to tarnish Rodgers and what he's done for him and his maturation and all that kind of stuff. But I really do believe that lit a fire, not only under him, but the way that I think the team looked at what Jordan Love did that game. I don't know if I remember if we covered this or not, but I believe I saw a stat that he was the first quarterback in NFL history to have 20 straight completions, over 350 yards, to have the 3 touchdowns, no interceptions, no sacks. First time in NFL history that has happened. And we're all sitting here wondering if he's a bust. Not all. Some of us are still sitting here talking smack in the Packers fan base. It's like, you got to wake up and wipe the crust out of your eyes because we have a 10. What does he do? Why is he number 10, Tim?
Because he only throws dimes, man.
That's right.
And I don't think it's an ego thing. I mean, to your point, I know what you're saying. I think it was a confidence booster for Jordan. And
that's what I mean. Yeah.
Sure. I feel like, we all have our own egos, but I think Jordan's one of those guys where that's buried deep down inside. It doesn't come out to the forefront very often.
There
are guys that are ego driven, right? I don't think Jordan's one of them, but we said that going into this game, Jacob. Hey, that it's probably a bigger game for Jay Money than it is for Aaron, and it certainly proved that Jordan is definitely someone that's the moment is never going to be too big for him. Game on the line. We always talk about it. Think play or not play. That's the type of dude you want under center when your season or the game is on the line. I don't think Jordan is going to cower in the face of pressure or adversity at all. And coming off a huge road win, the first road win in Pittsburgh since 1970, and now you're coming back to 1265 for 2 home games. This is exactly where this team wants to be right now at this point in the season.
And don't look now, but they're saying a beautiful, clear sky, 36 degrees, Tim. Is that what they're calling for? It's going to be a chilly day at Atlanta. Could be able to see the breath from the offensive lineman a little bit. Oh, come on.
And we're going to have that beautiful, bright sun.
Yes.
Right over the stadium. Oh, love it.
As Wayne Larrabee says, a sun-splashed afternoon at Lambeau Field. I love it. So
for sure.
It's going to be a fun game to watch. And here's let me be negative for just a second. You guys know I don't do this often. I want to go on a limb and say, if the Packers struggle to run the football this week, we got a problem. That we got to seriously step back and acknowledge, okay, there's something wrong with the run game. Something's definitely up, right? Because they should be able to run the football on this team. Like I said, I want to say they were 25th or 26th in yards per carry allowed. And you should have a decent chance of playing with the lead, barring – listen, you could fumble the opening kickoff, and it's a dogfight till the end, right? That could happen, any given Sunday.
Speaking of a problem.
Here's the guy. Fresh from Top Golf. What's up, Excelio?
Must be nice, man.
You slicing them or hooking them? What's going on?
Whichever way is to the right.
I know Emilio. He's a hooker.
Yeah, whatever way is deep and to the right. That's all about.
Are you a right-handed golfer?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're slicing it, buddy.
Slicing.
Yeah, so I just turned myself. To like 10 o'clock. And then
there you go.
Yeah, so we're good.
Emilio, you got to do the Happy Gilmore approach.
I was thinking about it.
That's all you need. And then you fall into the net at the Top Golf.
Oh yeah.
They gotta pull you out
in there.
When multiple people do that, boy. Just go to YouTube, right? Unbelievable. Hey, Emilio, do me a favor. Check your mic just in case it's stolen there. Well, we know you stole your mic from Best Buy, but just make sure we can get good sound quality out of you. All right, so let's talk about the line, the betting line. Again, we talked about the weather, right? It's going to be a beautiful day, about mid-30s, mid to upper 30s, clear sky. Fox is going to have the broadcast. Looks like point spread. The market has us as 13.5-point favorites as it sits right now. PFF Analytics has it closer to 12.3. Okay. Now, when you're talking about where the money's at, 57% of the money is on Green Bay to cover that 13.5. If you guys know me, I don't bet on Packer games. If I were to bet on this game, I would probably take the Panthers plus 13.5. I honestly think I would tease it to 14.5. It's probably what I would try to do if the line doesn't change, and I couldn't imagine it would go in that direction. But regardless, the money line, however, just winning outright, 86% of the money is on Green Bay to win this game, and the juice is on the Panthers at 650. Bets percentage, so we're talking about tickets, 96% of the tickets are on Green Bay to just win outright. So heavy favorites to win this game. We know that doesn't mean anything in terms of what could go wrong on Sunday, but I think this is a good indication of that high that Tim was talking about, Emilio, coming out of Pittsburgh. You got Jordan Love, who's as confident as he's ever been. You got Tucker Kraft, that's playing great football. Obviously, Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary are just screaming after the quarterback. Edgerrin Cooper, he's the one who set the siren off this week with the ball king, right? Punching that ball out there in the fourth quarter, huge play. I feel like the DBs played well personally. Keyshawn had a couple lapses there. It sounds like, if I had to guess, I would think Carrington Valentine is going to start over Nate Hobbs. We'll have to wait and find out at game time. But what do you think, Emilio? This feels like one of those games we may be going live in the fourth quarter, or we're all going to be extremely pissed off during the postgame show. Nothing in between.
Oh, yeah. Right? Yeah, it means we won't be seeing Jacob if that's the case, and be flipping tables. But no, that's it, man. And honestly, I think you get Jordan having a hot game, Tucker having a hot game. It's probably going to be somebody else this week, right? It'd probably be Josh Jacobs going off, or maybe we'll get Matthew Golden for 100 and a touchdown. And it's just going to be, it not having the same weapon. And not being able to game plan the same way each week. I think Matt's going to kind of lean into that just a little. Not that you need to take the ball away from Tucker or anything like that, but just try to find a way to get everybody else engaged, right? You got your third round rookie a touchdown. Let's get your first round rookie one, and let's just kind of just keep stacking them. It doesn't need to be, Rome wasn't built in a day. We don't need this team to be Super Bowl ready this week. But I think, any step towards the right direction, like you were saying earlier, we just need to get that run game going. That wall up front needs to just start grading.
I like it. Anything else you guys want to add to this preview before we I want to dive into the Panthers schedule a little bit and see who they won. But Tim, Jacob, y'all got anything else to add here?
Yeah, establish the run. Did we mention that? Pound the freaking rock. Let's go ahead and try and force the issue a little bit. Let's make it a point to run the football. We're at home. It's a nooner against the team we should be able to, find our legs again in the run game. I say be aggressive. Get this O-line run blocking. Get them aggressive moving forward. We already know, despite the the rotating cast of characters we've had at times with injuries on that O-line, that for the most part they keep Jordan pretty clean. We've seen him under pressure in a handful of situations this year. He took a couple sacks, but nothing that we're worried about pass pro. So I think when that comes natural to your group, then I think you can ask them to make an effort to get those big hog mollies moving forward a little bit, and let's push the pile and run the ball. We know Josh is one of those backs that can you can give him a inside zone run or something. Next thing you know, he's bounced outside of the tackle and he's off to the races. So maybe forcing the issue is not the right word, but I think an emphasis on running the football should be made on Sunday against this team. For sure.
I agree. And on the opposite end of that spectrum, Tim, I'm looking at their offensive line. Clayton's got it on the screen right here. Morton, Christensen, Mays with Hunt already on IR. Those guys aren't ranking terribly. You're looking at the 23rd overall, 12th overall, 15th overall. If all three of those guys, or even one or two of them, can't play, the run game, which I'm sure they're going to try to establish with Rico Dowdle, Chuba, that whole thing, it's going to be severely affected. And don't forget that if Devontae Wyatt is even more healthy this week, that's another beast on that defensive line. I mean, between Parsons, between Gary, between if we have a decent Wyatt, we've seen the steps that Brinson has taken, that Colby has taken. I find it hard to find an avenue where Carolina comes out of this unless everything's going in their way. You know what I mean? Everything. So I'm pretty excited about that.
We need to box up their run. Rico Dowdle went for over 200 or 150 or 200 against the Cowboys against his old team. So that is one thing that we need to make sure we do. But if we box up the run, I think we're in great shape.
Yeah. Also, we can't get in a situation where they're running all over you, and then, because that by default is going to open up things for any passing game in the league, right? So we got to be stout against that running attack.
It's also worth mentioning they are 26th in turnover differential, so they are giving the ball away and not taking it away very often, right? Also,
Ball King, baby, punch it out all day long. Let's go.
On top of that, they are 17th in sacks allowed. They're giving up 2.4 sacks per game. So this may be one of those games where Micah Parsons and Rashawn Gary each. We may come away. This may, and again, anything can happen. I don't want this to come across like we're saying this is a slam dunk win. I see people in the chat, and listen, fan how you want to fan. I got you. I know people think this is just going to be the Packers are going to run away with this thing any given Sunday, like we always say. But this does, to me, feel a little bit like that Tennessee game last year. Like you go up to an early lead, get up to a 2-score lead, and just turn the dogs loose and get after the quarterback. Now, Bryce Young, he can make you miss and he can hurt you with those secondary windows for sure. I wanted to look at the schedule real quick. Sometimes there's some hidden information here, right? Like Arizona, for instance. Everybody was talking about how the Packers are going to boat race Arizona. We looked at the schedule, and what we see on Arizona's schedule, they played – every one of their losses were really, really close. But what ended up happening? The Packers, they beat them by 4 points? Is that what we ended up beating them by, 3 or 4 points, something like that? So with that being said, let's see who the Panthers have played. Week 1, they lost to the Jaguars 26-10. Week 2, they lost to the Arizona Cardinals 27-22. So that was a 1-score game. They beat the Falcons somehow 30-0, right? They lost to the Patriots 42-13, so they got blown out there. They beat the Dolphins 27-24. They beat the Cowboys 30-27, the Cowboys that we tied, right? And then they beat the Jets 13-6. I wonder if that went to extra innings there. God, what a horrible score. And then week 8 last week, they lost to the Bills 40-9. So you can kind of see some of these games they're getting their ass handed to them, and other games are winning games they should be losing, right?
Hey, Emilio, this looks like another keep them at or under 20, and we get the dub, right?
Absolutely. I was just taking a peek. Panthers are 27th in the league, 19.2 points per game. They are 24th in the league at minus 38 in point differential. Packers are 10th at plus 43. But the only number that really caught my eye was the record in close games. Panthers are 3-1. We are 1-1-1. So that would be the only thing. As long as we can get ourselves out to a little bit of cushion, give me 7, give me 10, and then we're off to the races. But if they keep it to a one-score game by the fourth quarter, we are in for a scrap. Absolutely.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. All right. So there you go. And last thing I want to hit on real quick. Let's go to the questions for the show. I want to lay the foundation for something. I'm throwing around an idea, guys. So we've got these questions for the show here, and I've neglected it. I apologize, right? Things have been crazy. The season gets going. I'm trying to find time to break down the tape for Chalk Talk. It just gets a little rough. I would like to start doing a weekly show at some point, especially with my work schedule slowing down, that we're going to call Mailbag, okay? And essentially how it's going to work, questions for the show will get top priority along with super chats. And then anybody who's in the chat, if we have time, if there's no super chats and we've moved beyond the questions for the show aspect, all you got to do is put in the chat MB or a mailbox, a mailbox emoji, right? And that tells us this is a mailbox question, okay? And that would just be us kind of hanging out, chatting, answering questions from the chat in rapid fire succession. So I think that would be really cool. I want to give you guys more of a voice in the chat. But it's going to have to be kind of an extra show. Like I'm hoping I can do it like maybe midday or something, right? If I've got extra time, I'll just throw up in the Patreon, hey, we're going to do a mailbag episode. And then, like I said, super chats will be prioritized. And anybody who puts MB or the mailbox emoji there as well. And you can do that over at patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access. Let's get into the questions here. We got Murph in the house. Before him, though,
Murph.
First, we've got Pack Rob, who says Dirtbag Watch. Land. Did his mama really name him Land Clark? Or is it Landon Clark? Somebody give me some information on this dirtbag. Land Clark is the head ref for us this week. So, Tim, you doing any research over there? I'm going to pull up a tab and see if we can get some statistics on this dirtbag.
They're all dirtbags. They're all equally dirtbags. Forget about it. We got to beat the refs and the Panthers on Sunday. Hopefully the spirit of Buckets Goldenberg will be with us on Throwback Sunday.
His name really is Land Clark. He did not
Land Clark.
Yeah, she did not want him having babies with any females. That's for sure.
No, LC. He went by LC his whole life for sure.
Okay, hold on. We got our Jamie in the chat right here. United Bates says his name is Vincent Land Clark. He was born March 20th, 1962. Age 63 from Santa Barbara, California. Thank you, Bates.
Security number,
Bates was all over it. Bates ran an NCIC check on him.
What's his blood type, Bates? Come on.
Unbelievable. I got a visual on this dirtbag.
Yeah, scroll on down, Clay. I got you.
Oh, do you really? Where at? What are you talking? Oh, in the chat. Look at Emilio using the technological advancements here. Look at this dirtbag right here, guys.
Wow.
Looks like a terrible guy.
Look at the battery percentage, man. I need to charge this thing.
You irresponsible.
Click on it, Clay. You got to click on the guy. That way you can get
listen, I got something better, Emilio. I can't handle your mediocrity.
J. Cole.
So mean.
What do you say?
Man, what a square ass name.
What a square ass name.
It's true, man. That's almost as bad as Clayton. You kidding me? Really rough right there. All right. So for the week, we do this every week. We've got, looks like he's trying to violate somebody here on this image, but we'll pull it up here. Bang, that dirtbag right there. Okay, there we go.
That Jacob, looks like he's saying, hey, New York called me in the earpiece, okay? I got to listen to what they tell me.
It looks like Jacob about to get fired from the club, too, man. You got to keep them hands down. You know what I'm saying?
No, but he probably
really do.
Jacob talked to. Dude's, 63? So, I mean, it's about right around that age there.
There you go.
Oh, we're going to give him some
really? Cheesehead Murph said, do you think they get a deal done with Dobbs before the end of the season? My answer would be no, okay? Because I think Dobby, his market, I feel like it's increasing a little bit. And I think the Packers blueprint, they probably got the number they want him at, right? Just like Quay Walker. And as these guys continue to perform, I think they're going to kind of price themselves out of Green Bay's range. I really do believe that. Does anybody else agree, disagree? What's your all's take on that? Real quick, we'll go rapid fire, wrap this thing up before I get divorced.
I hope they're close. I really do.
Yeah,
I really do, because the market's just going to continue to go up, I think, the longer this goes out. And if they're serious about, keeping Rome around, I mean, look what they did with Scoot. I mean, talk about a smart move to keep Scoot in the fold for another year, and then give yourself an opportunity to, we always talk about they can't keep all of these guys. I mean, it's a pretty good chance we could keep this core together for a while. And I think the sooner they get something done with Rome, the better, for sure.
Yeah. Forgive me if I'm wrong, but did they secure Scoot's contract after he got hurt, or was it prior? Yeah. So it was after. So I think that they understood.
No, that was like a month ago.
That's what I was saying. So in my eyes, I don't see that same sort of team-friendly deal happening for Rome, just because his back's not honestly against the wall like Christian was, and being from they're the same draft class too, right? If I'm not mistaken. So it's like I just feel like that, to Clayton's point, Rome may have a better chance at getting some big time money, getting the bag, as the kids say, from a different team. However, I will say that the big catalyst or question mark for him is, I really do think Rome enjoys being in Green Bay. I think he likes his team, likes the organization, likes where he's at mentally. And so if he is willing to ever, quote unquote, take a team friendly deal, that might be the guy that would actually do it. I mean, we'll see. I'd love for us to keep him, to be honest, because I mean, like Clayton said on that roundtable, man, I don't know if there's a more sure-handed guy in certain situations around the league. He's not like Clayton said, not going to take the top off the defense necessarily. He's not going to wow you with his 40 time or with anything like that, but he's about as steady as they get.
Yeah. And I will say this, for what it's worth, you've seen Matthew Golden playing a little X. He was playing a little X against Pittsburgh. So that makes me think they're getting him. Remember what I said originally? If Romeo is not on this team, Matthew Golden would be the X, Jaden Reed would be the F, and Christian Watson would be the speed Z, right? I think that's their long-term plan, unless they can get a really, really good deal on Romeo Doubs. The only problem with giving Doubs a contract extension, would you be willing to pay him more than Christian Watson? I would not, personally. So with that being said, Christian Watson's number, as we talked about, is really low. So if I'm Romeo, I love Green Bay, but I'm probably wanting to hit that market, I would imagine. So, all right, move on to the next question. We'll go rapid fire. Cheesehead Murph, do you think Matt should let Jordan run the show like Aaron during the first half, 4 minutes to halftime of the middle 8? Does he do it already? Doesn't seem like it, but I could be wrong. I don't think it's a scenario, Murph, where Matt's not calling in a play and Jordan's just going out there and doing it. I don't think Aaron honestly ever did that. Now, Jordan has the same freedom that Aaron has. Yeah. People used to get so pissed, not that you did, Murph, but people would get so pissed at Aaron going, he keeps changing the play. He keeps changing the play. Guys, all he was doing was canning to the next play. Yeah. It's the
Every
same
play call is 3 play calls, really. Yeah.
And it's exactly what Jordan's doing now, so there's nothing different in that regard, in my opinion. Cheesehead Murph also said, hypothetically speaking, now with the Hobbs deal, can we move him at the trade deadline if we don't see him fitting in? Not trying to, just curiosity. You could. You're going to take a dead cap hit of like $16 million this year if you did that, right? Which he's already on the books for. But if you could trade him and get something, I can see how you could make a case for that. I do not think it'll happen. Personally.
What's the market for Nate Hobbs? Like what are we going to get?
Yeah, it's got to be.
And I honestly would like, I know everyone's down on him right now, but I like the hot piss that he plays with, man. Mm-hmm. He brings a fire to our secondary.
I did too.
And I think as fans, we owe it to ourselves to be a little patient. Let him play his way back to 100% coming off that knee cleanup that he had in the preseason.
I'd be almost for him taking a couple weeks off, healing that thing up, and just coming in and playing play here and there when you need them. If we go 5 DBs or 6 DBs, whatnot, and then all right, let's use him more as we get into the postseason or whatever. As you're running into just more injuries down the line. I mean, what happens if Key ever goes down? Someone's got to step up and play.
To Clayton's point on the NFC roundtable, we're sitting here talking like we have this worst cornerback group, or some certain fans are talking about how we have the worst cornerback group. Clayton, what are we ranked as an average passing per yard or per play?
Yeah, so in yards per play, passing yards per play, what that means is anytime the opponent runs a passing play, the yards that you're averaging, that you're giving up, the Packers are ranked first in the NFL in that category.
Is that good? First.
And you noticed in the chat too when I said that, people were like, "Oh, that's such a skewed stat." The Packers, Packers pass defense is horrible, and I'm going, boys, facts don't care about your feelings.
Literally not.
Literally, it's a statistic, and I think it's the most important statistic is when you're talking about breaking down yards per play. If I had said they're first, I love hearing people say this, they're first in this category per game, like yards per game or points per game, right? Guys, that can be skewed really easy. But when you're breaking it down per play, that's the closest you can get. It's not everything, but it's definitely the most important statistic that you can come up with on a per play basis, right? So, and listen, they're first in yards per pass play allowed, right? Great. Does that mean they're perfect? No. That's what's exciting. We're the best in the league in that stat, and we all still see on Chalk Talk we're making mistakes. That's exciting. That's a good place to be. So, yeah. Thank you for bringing that up, Jake. All right. Murph said, another what if. What if Emmanuel Wilson, I'm assuming he's saying, right? Yeah, Emmanuel Wilson has a year behind Jacobs. Do you keep him and move on from Lloyd, or keep Lloyd and possibly trade Emmanuel during the offseason? If it were me personally, I would keep Emmanuel Wilson. As long as you've got his rights, keep him on the roster. I think he's going back.
We do have exclusive rights to him, don't we?
Yes.
What will probably end up happening with Marshawn Lloyd, I'm pretty sure we do, Tim. I'd have to pull the contract. But what I would do with Marshawn Lloyd is I would, hopefully he'll get back this year at some point. If he don't, then you put him on IR. You try it one more time next year. If he gets hurt again, that's it. You got to move on, right?
He's got to be able to survive camp next year.
Got to be able to survive. And again, that's no knock against Marshawn Lloyd. That was Daniel Jeremiah's best running back coming out in the draft. I think that still holds true.
Yeah.
It's a bad break, right? Emilio, you run your damn NCAA football 26 running backs into the ground. You see the bar going yellow on the way and tearing
all the way down. And next year, they go up a couple overall, but man, that red bar is blinking. And coach signs away, lost my star quarterback. Coach receipts went down, all that stuff. So, but in all seriousness, Lloyd, you think about it. We had, who was it? Taylor, I think we picked him up in the 7th round 3 or 4 years ago. That running back didn't work out. He didn't even make the cut. Then you get Marshawn. Okay, cool. But he's not, it's tough, right? You want him to be out there. He's physical. He's fast. He's freaky, but I just need you to stay on the field. I feel bad for the guy. He's not trying to do this. You got Josh Jacobs last year, bringing him to every practice and all that stuff. It's not like he's not getting a good mentor and good people around him. It's just his body needs to let him, be the player that we think he can be. But if not, I think where you're pulling the trigger on a running back in the next draft. But also, how high of a draft pick do you need to start spending on these running backs when you've seen time and time again teams pull a running back off the street and let the dude run for 150 and let's go. So, and again, it's kind of like those reclamation projects for quarterbacks. You can find a running back that's ran for 3 years at another team that didn't work out, maybe got 3 yards of carry, and you bring him over here, you find his niche and he's off. But I'm glad that we moved on from, I love Aaron Jones. I'm happy we moved on from him. Josh Jacobs has been a more stout back, been on the field more than Jonesy, which is tough, but you're just processing down. You got time frame of their age, where we are as a team. And right now Lloyd's on the bubble of, not having enough time and not being physically ready to roll.
Yep. Right. And in the meantime, we got Savion Williams. That guy can take a handoff or a toss or
and he's so tall, dude. He's so lengthy. I feel like he's just going to get stuck, and he just is nimble.
That swing pass to him, that design swing pass.
Oh yeah.
If we didn't have the hat count, he's still scoring that touchdown.
Oh yeah.
Full head of steam coming around the corner. He's just going to run through somebody's face.
And you already have. And who was blocking on that play on the edge? Chris Brooks and Matthew Golden. Yep. You already have another running back you're leaning on. Yeah. You got rid of one of your tight ends because you turned Fitzpatrick into your you can swing them around and all that. So you're finding guys that are filling the niche. If you're on the field, you're going to play. If you're available, you're going to get a shot. And I just love that. When you go back and watch some of Emmanuel Wilson's highlight tapes, that dude is freaky. He is like he can hit you with the dead leg like Josh Jacobs does, but also has that explosiveness. The dude is ready to be an NFL running back, and we're seeing it.
Yeah. With Chris Brooks, too, when we go to the pony package, more times than not, they've got him as a blocking back, right? That says a lot about what Matt LaFleur thinks. And then when you go with that bunch load left, Who did he have on the edge?
Flex him. Chris Brooks. Yep.
I mean, it's literally the most pivotal part of that blocking scheme. He said, I want 30 out there. It's a pretty wild thing. And it just hit me. We ain't seeing much pony package here lately, are we, guys?
No.
We're starting to drift away from it a little bit, right? Don't be surprised if that comes back in the second half, but I'm glad they got away from it because I didn't feel like it. I felt like Matt realized, all right, we can't get the running game going using this right now. Let's put it on the shelf. Let's get back to the basics. Let's run a little more duo, right? That 26 toss was awesome with Emmanuel Wilson.
Yeah.
And with a duo kind of approach too.
There was a lot of eye candy up there too, right? When you're in shotgun and you're trying to move all those bodies, you're faking one way, then spinning around, handing it off. Yep. You're doing a lot of motion, and we weren't getting any push up front. It didn't lead us anywhere.
Right, exactly. And again, it worked last year, but teams had a whole off season to watch the tape, right? And I'm excited to see if they can get this running game going. Again, chalk talk this week, or probably the post game show. To be honest with you, you're either going to hear me say it, all right, we got a little momentum in the running game, guys, or we're going to hear me go, boys, we got a problem.
Yeah,
you should be able to run the ball against this team. So I'm excited to see how it unfolds. So with that being said, for those of you watching this video later, let us know in the comments what you think about this matchup. Packers, Panthers. Do you think 13 points is too much? Do you think it's right in the sweet spot? Is it not enough? Let us know in the comments what you think. Make sure you hit subscribe and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live in the future. You guys got anything else you want to hit on before Tim tells everybody about this charity that we're partnered with, man? Good?
Don't think so.
Let's do it. Tim, tell them about the great folks over at OperationHorsesHill.org, man.
Yeah, absolutely. Rachel and her husband, Rooster. Got to love a name like Rooster, right?
Rooster.
You already know.
I'm probably related to Rooster, man. I'm telling you.
They've got a great place out there in Westboro, Wisconsin, working with veterans, active duty servicemen and women and their families, helping with horse-assisted programs for our veterans, improving mental health in our veterans and for their families. So we're teaming up with them. You guys know we got a couple of days left in the month for your chance to win an autographed Rome jersey. OperationHorsesHill.org/how can I help is where you go to make your donation. Every donation, regardless of dollar amount, is going to get your name on that Larry McCarron pinky wheel, and we're going to spin it to see who wins the jersey. We're trying to raise up some money to get them a truck and a horse trailer so that they can bring some of the horses directly to these veterans at other events and things in the future. So please check out OperationHorsesHill.org for more information on what they're doing here for our veterans, and then also to make your donation. You can also scan that QR code in the upper right, and it'll take you directly to the donation page.
All right, awesome. Thank you for that information. Again, OperationHorsesHill.org. You can go to my Twitter account at Packers_access. You'll see a tweet pinned at the top of the page. That link's right there. Just click on it, go to the link. You can make a donation from your phone. You can make a donation from your computer, wherever you're at. And also, if you don't have money to donate, it's totally cool. We completely understand. Just feel free to tweet that link out and just share this website here, OperationHorsesHill.org. That makes a difference as well. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it. We're out of here. I'm going to go save my marriage. I've been doing podcasting for the last damn near 3 hours. My voice is going. So, but it's great talking with you guys. Obviously, we did an afternoon show too. It's unbelievable. She's got my bags packed. I guarantee.
Oh yeah.
But we'll be back tomorrow at 6 p.m. Central for PTA Live, where we'll probably dive into the PFF preview from a lineup standpoint. We'll show you their best graded players, our best graded players, and we'll get into any other breaking news. We'll give you the latest on the injury report, all that good stuff. We didn't even show you footage today. We'll show you footage tomorrow of the helmets they're going to be wearing this week. Obviously, they're wearing them in practice already. The 3D leather helmets. It's going to be awesome. So everybody hit like, hit subscribe, click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live in the future. So many people still aren't subscribed. Listen, I do the same thing. I've got random shows that I watch every single day, sports shows, and I'm not even subscribed to their channel. Now that I'm running a channel, I realize how important it is. I'm like, man, I need to go subscribe to them, right? It doesn't cost a dime. Just hit that sub button and hit like for us as well. That tells the algorithm, hey, it's a pretty good show, even though it isn't. We all know it sucks, but we greatly appreciate it. So we'll see y'all tomorrow, 6 p.m. Central for PTA Live. Everybody have a wonderful evening. Emilio, give him the birth control wave there.
Birth control.
There you go. See y'all later.
Here we go.
Bye, guys.